The voice, shrill and panicked, pierced the quiet suburban air like a siren. "There he is, officer. That's the man who broke into my house. Arrest him." I stood frozen, my suitcase gripped tightly in my fist, as flashing red and blue lights streaked across the pristine facade of my own home. As a cybersecurity consultant, I'd just returned 2 weeks early from a major project in Tokyo. The woman pointing accusingly from my front porch was Barbara, our overzealous HOA president. She'd apparently moved in while I was away, and she was wearing my silk bathrobe. The absurdity hit me like a punch. She was calling the cops on me for trespassing on my property, while she was the intruder. But little did she know, my early return wasn't coincidental. The phone in my hand wasn't just for vacation photos. She'd walked straight into the most elaborate, technologically documented trap of her life. If you're reading this, drop a comment letting me know where you're from, because the story of how this HOA Karen got arrested for felony burglary in front of the entire neighborhood is absolutely insane. It all started 6 months earlier when I bought what I considered my dream home. After years of grinding in cramped city apartments while building my consultancy, I finally had the means for a slice of tranquility. It was a large, modern structure of glass and steel, nestled in a wealthy oak-lined subdivision that promised peace and quiet, the kind of place with more lawn care services per capita than a professional golf course. I traveled constantly for work, consulting for international corporations on complex digital security needs. My home was my sanctuary, my fortress of solitude. The one fly in the ointment I hadn't accounted for was the Homeowners Association and its president, Barbara Clean. My first encounter with her came less than a week after I moved in. She appeared at my doorstep, clipboard clutched like a holy tablet. She was a woman in her late 50s, desperately trying to look 40, with unnaturally blonde hair in a severe ponytail and a wardrobe of expensive but ill-fitting resort wear. She drove a 10-year-old Mercedes sedan, immaculately polished, a perfect metaphor for her existence, projecting status she didn't quite possess. With a smile that never reached her cold eyes, she informed me my mailbox, a sleek, minimalist black steel design matching the house, was non-compliant. The approved model was a faux colonial monstrosity in forest green. The fine. $50 per day. I tried reasoning. The mailbox complemented the home's architecture. But it was like talking to a condescending brick wall. "The rules are the rules for a reason," she chirped. "They maintain the aesthetic integrity of our community." I glanced from her faux colonial loving face to my hyper-modern glasshouse and wondered what aesthetic she meant. To avoid a battle while unpacking, I relented and bought the ugly green mailbox. It was a mistake. It showed I'd yield. The violations cascaded in pettiness. Garbage bins visible from the street for 45 minutes past pickup time, a small ornamental Japanese maple not on the pre-approved floralist, a package left on the porch for over 3 hours, deemed an eyesore in her smug notice. My next-door neighbor, retired engineering professor Arthur, caught me one afternoon sullenly measuring my lawn with a ruler. He chuckled, leaning on the fence. "Getting the Barbara treatment, I see. Don't let her get to you. She's run this HOA like her personal fief for a decade. She lives in one of the original smaller ranch houses at the entrance, pathologically jealous of anyone in the newer, bigger places." He shared how she'd once fined a family for excessive balloonage at a grandchild's birthday party. This was the woman holding sway over our suburbia. Then came the big opportunity, a lucrative, high-stakes contract in Tokyo requiring a full month overseas. I couldn't pass it up. Per HOA bylaws for absences over 2 weeks, I emailed the board my travel dates, leaving May 1st, returning June 1st. I armed my state-of-the-art security system, far beyond motion detectors. Every door and window was censored. Internal and external cameras provided total coverage. The smart home logged everything from thermostat to refrigerator. It was a digital ghost watching over the house. The first week in Tokyo blurred with meetings. In the second week, anomalies appeared. I thrived on data and patterns. And these were wrong. An alert. The master bedroom thermostat adjusted from energy-saving 65 degrees Fahrenheit to 72 degrees Fahrenheit. I dismissed it as a glitch. 2 days later, another. The smart fridge registered added 2% milk, unfamiliar yogurt, and cheap Chardonnay. I didn't drink cheap Chardonnay. My blood ran cold. Pulling up the media server, someone had accessed my Plex account, watching 3 hours of reality TV about rich housewives. Not a glitch, an intrusion. With dread, I accessed internal camera feeds. My heart hammered. On my living room couch sat Barbara and her meek, balding husband, Gary. She wore my cashmere throw, sipping from my crystal wine glass. Gary channel surfed with my remote, feet on my ottoman, watching my 85-inch TV. They weren't robbing, they were living there. My mind raced at the audacity. The HOA required keys for emergency access, a rule I'd fought as a security risk but lost. Barbara, keykeeper, must have let herself in under a fabricated emergency, then upgraded her lifestyle for the month. She knew my return date from the email. Rage surged. I wanted to call the police, have them drag her out. But the professional in me prevailed. It'd be my word against hers. As HOA president, she'd claim an inspection or leak. I needed irrefutable proof, a case, not just a picture. Leaning back in my Tokyo hotel chair, I began planning. She thought it was a secret vacation. She had no idea she'd become the star of her own private reality show, and I was the executive producer. The rage simmering in my chest fueled a cold, calculated focus. This wasn't simple trespassing, it was a profound violation. Barbara hadn't just entered my home, she'd usurped my life, wrapping herself in the comfort I'd built. Calling police from Tokyo would lead to chaos, international calls, her spinning tales of HOA duties. She'd be calm and authoritative, I'd be a frantic voice from afar. No, this was chess, and her arrogant move demanded a devastating response. My fortress became my laboratory. For the next week, I haunted my house digitally from my laptop, gathering evidence in spare moments outside work. I created encrypted folders, video, audio, data logs, subject profiles. I downloaded every second from 16 high-definition cameras, pristine quality, comprehensive angles. Footage showed Barbara and Gary eating my food at my dining table, sleeping in my bed, her wandering my office, hands on my leather chair. The most infuriating, master closet footage. Mine was custom-built, cedar-lined with specialized lighting. She tried on my deceased wife Eleanor's clothing. Eleanor passed 2 years prior, her things untouched. Seeing Barbara drape Eleanor's favorite scarf, preening in the mirror, turned it personal. But emotion couldn't cloud process. I documented everything. Smart home logs were gold, minute-by-minute timelines. Sonos system logs revealed their terrible taste, cheesy 80s soft rock. The smart toilet, a ridiculous splurge, recorded every use. Espresso machine showed drops in premium coffee beans and water spikes. Spreadsheet cross-referenced guest bedroom power against vacancy, proving hosted guests. One occasion, they entertained another couple on my patio, serving my best single malt scotch, boasting about HOA perks. They treated it like a free luxury hotel. Proving intent was key, showing she knew it was illegal and planned concealment. Technology gave unfair advantage. Cameras had microphones, legal under one-party consent. I was the party surveilling my home. I activated office camera audio, where she spent much time. Patered, a phone call with smug satisfaction. "Oh, it's fabulous, Marge," she crowed. "The owner is some rich tech nerd off in Asia for a month. The house is empty, the least I can do is ensure it's operational." She laughed like grinding gravel. "Gary's in heaven with the 85-inch TV. We'll be sad going back to our shoebox by the main road." The smoking gun came 2 days later, a kitchen argument on live audio. Gary, nervous. "Barb, are you sure? What if he comes back early?" Barbara, sharp. "He won't. I have his itinerary, not due till the 1st. He's a creature of habit. We just need out by the 31st morning, clean up, and he'll never know. Stop worrying. Pass the expensive olive oil." I saved it as Exhibit A, backed up on 3 servers. I had her lies, scheming, intent, all in broadcast quality audio. Time for my lawyer. I emailed David Chen, a sharp litigator I'd worked with. Urgent, highly unusual matter. Attached a low-res still of Barbara on my couch and password-protected audio clip. His reply, call me now. On secure line, stunned silence, then a whistle. Frank, in 20 years, I've seen brazen things, but this is idiotic entitlement. He became enthusiastic partner. We mapped strategy, criminal complaint and civil action, dismantling her HOA power. Key, return May 15th, not June 1st. Let her get cocky, then catch her off guard, forcing erratic reaction before witnesses. Removed her preparing for return claim. We synchronized. I booked flight. David cleared schedule. Trap set. I'd fly 12 hours, walk in, watch her curtain fall. The Tokyo to States flight felt eternal, not fatigue, but thrumming anticipation. I reviewed evidence over spotty Wi-Fi, digital tapestry of her arrogance. David's final message. Let her make first move. Let her call cops. Her outrage undoes her. Be calm, factual. I'll handle legal. I landed, breezed customs, hailed a yellow cab instead of limo. Dropped 2 blocks away, past Barbara's modest home, her Mercedes there, confirming she wasn't home. Grim smile. She was at mine. Wheeled suitcase in hand, I walked steadily. Perfect sunny afternoon, birds chirping, sprinklers hissing, suburban peace-eyed chatter. Rounding the corner, my house appeared. There, Barbara lounging on my chaise lounge, in Eleanor's silk kimono, book in lap, sipping wine. Completely at home, self-appointed queen. Phone recording discreetly, I approached unhurried. She didn't notice at first, lost in delusion. Then she glanced up, confusion, recognition, panic. Eyes wide, color drained, wine glass trembled. Terror flashed, then subsumed by indignation. Posture straightened, fear to aggression, her fatal flaw, the arrogance we'd counted on. She stood, glass down with click. Who are you? This is private property. I stopped at porch steps, suitcase down. Hello, Barbara. I live here. Face blotchy red, impossible, the owner's not due for 2 weeks. Unintentional confession, she knew the timeline. Before response, she whipped phone, you're trespassing. Calling police. Shriek echoed, neighbors peeked. I stood impassive, letting her dig. 911 operator, emergency. Barbara Clean, HOA president at 1120 Cypress Lane. Man's breaking in, threatening, send someone. Manufactured terror painted me dangerous. I said nothing. Sirens wailed, 2 cruisers pulled in, lights flashing. Arthur watched from lawn. Officers, young Reed, eager, seasoned Sergeant Miller, calm. Ma'am, sir, what's going on? Miller asked. Barbara pointed. That man, trespasser, trying to rob. Arrest him. Reed stepped, hand on weapon. Hands visible. I raised hands, phone in one. Officers, misunderstanding. This is my house. Barbara snorted. Lying. I'm HOA president, responsible while owner's away. He's dangerous. Her trump. Title as shield. Exactly wanted, she declared responsibility publicly before law enforcement. Miller quieted Barbara, assessing her hysterics versus my calm. ID? He asked me. Of course, in jacket pocket. Permission. Nod. I handed driver's license. Matched face, address, 1120, Cypress Lane. First domino. Miller to Barbara. Address matches. Frantic. Proves nothing, could be stolen, forged. As HOA president, he's not owner. I broke silence. Officers, prove ownership in 3 seconds, allow front door? Glance exchanged, nod. Past venomous Barbara, up steps. Biometric lock, thumb on panel, chime, deadbolt click, door opened inch. Silence deafening, irrefutable. Barbara frozen, disbelief mask. Moment hung, I continued. Proved who I am, also evidence of a legal residency, consuming property for 17 days. On cue, black sedan arrived. David Chen, briefcase in hand. Sergeant Miller, handshake. David Chen, Mr. Franklin's counsel. To all, client sole owner, returned early from trip ending June 1st. Believe Mrs. Clean illegally occupied. Barbara sputtered. Lie. Performing inspections. Plumbing issue. Weak. David, inspections involving sleeping in bed, wearing late wife's clothing, drinking liquor, hosting parties? Briefcase open, extensive time-stamped records, HD video, audio proving intent to vacate undetected. Tablet out. Start here. Played Exhibit A, Barbara's voice, out by 31st morning, clean up, he'll never know. Officers hardened, looked at crumbling Barbara, all bluster gone, sallow terror. Door creaked. Gary peered, pale. Saw scene cracked. Sorry, told her terrible idea. Didn't want this, she made me. Pathetic confession. Final nail. Miller stepped. Barbara clean, right to remain silent. Handcuffs ratcheted, echoed. Reed led whimpering Barbara to car. Arthur nodded approval. Queen deposed in humiliating spectacle. Aftermath swift. Barbara cuffed, driven away. Gary questioned, not charged, coerced accomplice, his humiliation enough. He scurried home like frightened mouse. Legal process open and shut. Evidence mountain led guilty plea to lesser felony, criminal trespass, theft. Sentence, 3 years probation, fine, counseling, full restitution. I calculated costs, food, wine, scotch, coffee, down to bean. David presented itemized bill, humiliating reminder. Learned from Arthur, they sold house for fees/restitution. Last sight, loading U-Haul, grim faces. Restitution check endorsed to homeless housing charity, fitting for shelter abuse. Victory beyond personal, dismantling toxic HOA. Board chaos, emergency meeting. I attended with David. Uncomfortable board expected multi-million suit. David outlined abuse, key bylaw as weapon, right to sue for negligence, but reasonable under conditions. I addressed room, calm, factual story. Projected evidence, patio party still, phone call transcript. Gasps, find neighbors saw enforcer as thief. Not about me, principle, no one violates home sanctity. Key bylaw security nightmare, must go. Board folded, motion rescinded bylaw unanimously. Board resigned in fallout, new election. Nominated me, declined. Nominated Arthur, accepted amid ovation. He led reasonable, transparent HOA, maintenance over policing. Weeks later, peaceful normal. Ugly green mailbox gone, sleek black returned, victory symbol. On patio, poured single malt. Calm air, sunset, crickets, children's laughter. Absurdity, Barbara's luxury obsession cost her comfortable life. Underestimated me, saw tech nerd, not pattern seer gathering data, waiting to act. She thought wolf in sheep pen, never realized sheepdog watched globally, logging moves. Ordeal reinforced, bullies thrive on intimidation, assuming no fight back. But with facts, evidence, resolve, their power evaporates. Facade at core. Thanks for the wild ride, proof best security, patience, data,